BJ from Game Gumbo. I've got my guests here, Clarence Simpson, designer of the Wolves and also Merchants of Magic. And we've got Mike Gnade from Manor Games. And we are talking some spicy odd games. The one that Clarence talked about, let me see if I can find it. Steve, this is one that got me really excited.
Very interesting.
You know why? And you know why? Because we are both big fans of these designers.
Absolutely.
This is Die Wanderlinden Terme, otherwise known
nailed it, BJ.
Clarence.
Nailed it.
Yeah, nailed it. Otherwise known, Clarence, as what?
Wandering Towers.
The Wandering Towers. Oh. Steve, tell Clarence why you and I are excited about this game.
Oh, it's Cromer and Kiesling. You see those names, and I have to give it a try. It may not always be fantastic, but there's a good chance it's going to be solid to wonderful somewhere in there.
I'm lucky. I haven't hit a bad one yet. So
yeah,
the combination of those two. So Clarence, give us the elevator pitch. What is Wandering Towers? Because it looks kind of like a kid's thing, but they tell me it's not.
Yeah, I mean, well, like kids can definitely play it, but I think there's enough interesting stuff there for adults too. And it feels like it shouldn't work because it's both like a roll and move and a memory game, which are two things that are like instant turn-offs for so many people. But yeah, so the idea is that you've got this little circular track with your little and you've got a handful of wizard meeples that you're trying to race around the track, and there's one, that little black tower there is like the goal that you're trying to get all of your wizards into that goal. But there's also all of these little constructible tower pieces that are scattered around the loop. And so every time that it's your turn, you can either move wizards forward along the track, or you can actually pick up and move towers forward along the track. And the wizards can move on top of the towers, and then you can actually move towers on top of other towers. So there may actually end up being wizards on top of a tower, which you then put towers on top of those wizards, and then it's it traps them, and they can't be moved for a while. And you can free them later, but part of the trick of it is that you have to remember where your wizards are at. And so,
how do you not know where your wizards are?
Well, I mean, yeah, because they're covered, right? Yeah, so you can't see them.
Oh, inside the tower
on top,
okay,
inside the tower. Yeah. And sometimes it's easy to remember, but once like your wizard is trapped, and then the whole stack of towers starts moving around, you're like, I think it was on the third level, but maybe it was the fourth.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So this is different than I thought, Steve. I thought, based on the big ring, I thought this was going to be a rondelle game, and I'm not hearing rondelle at all.
No, it's nothing like that.
Do you drop off the pieces of the tower as you go around, kind of like Mancala style?
No. So if you've got a stack of towers, like let's say you've stacked up 5 tower pieces on one space, and you go to move that tower, you can move from wherever, whatever height on that tower. You can just move the top piece. You can move the bottom piece. So you move the middle piece if you want to uncover something. Kind of do it however you want to do it. And there's also, it has like a sort of a magic system, which it's really just some like special actions you can take by spending these potion tokens. And the way you get the potion tokens is by trapping the wizards. So there's this built-in incentive to mess with people so that you can do those cool things.
Interesting.
I'm liking everything I'm hearing already. You know, it's Cromer and Kiesling, but I'm liking the mechanics. I like the table presence. This looks pretty cool. Mike, have you played this?
I have not. I've not played it.
I think Keith said this was one of his favorite games recently.
Keith Law?
Yeah. I think he wrote about it in the blog recently and said it was really strong. To me, this seems like when I see Cromer and Kiesling with stacking things like that, I'm thinking Torres, but with like theme and fun. And
almost the reverse of Torres, right? Because you're trying to get on top of the towers in Torres, and here you're trying to trap other people inside them, right?
Torres in motion in some way. Yeah.
Well, if Keith has it, I'll just borrow it from him.
Oh,
yes, he's down. He's down local.
He's like 10 minutes away from me.
I think Keith was the last guy in the last season, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we had such a good time with Keith.
Yep.
That was he was a fun guest. and I've been reading his stuff for years, so that was kind of a thrill for me to have him on there. But I'm digging this, man. I'm so glad you showed this kind of. I always wanted to talk. I don't know anybody personally who's played it other than that brief conversation we had with Keith. So, and it was really kind of just a throwaway talk, if I remember right.
Yeah. He didn't talk about it much with us. I think afterward he posted a blog post about it. Perhaps.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
So yeah.
So I am totally digging this, and I'm gonna have to try to track down a copy. Anybody else? Steve, you hearing some?
I'm digging it, and I think they have another one coming out at Essen, Terra Pyramides, which is supposed to be not similar in style, but very accessible. Not as heavy hitting.
What's your favorite thing about it, Clarence? What's your favorite thing about it?
Oh man, I think like it's really accessible. You know, I can play it with my kids, and also interesting enough decisions that I enjoy doing it myself. You know, which is already not very common to be able to find a game that can.
Nope, you got to find those dad games, man. Those are good games to find for sure.
True.
They are worth gold. Well, that is Wandering Towers from Kramer and Kiesling. I don't have it up. Well, actually, I guess I do. I don't remember who published this one.
Good question. I'll dig. You've got it.
Here. It is art by Michael Menzel. Of course, we should have picked that up. Abacus Spiel, and looks like here in the States, it's Capstone Games. Okay, good. Yeah, Wandering Towers. It was on my list to check out for Eschenspiel back in 2022, so it's moving up. I want to see this one, so
yeah, definitely.
Thank you for bringing that one, Clarence. That is one I'm super excited about.